Your mask stinks. Try some Mask Bright. You can buy new and used masks as well. 2 comments from professionals about changing the pressure. If I'm not mistaken, this sounds a little bit like love mail.
I love Jason 'cause he is awesome, and I want to see him on a basket rug.
I'm a respiratory therapist. 22 years at Yale Hospital, and you are so great. Yum, 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 yum. I'm protecting her name, but not her voice.
The reason the doctor controls the pressure is because too much pressure can cause central apnea, cardiac issues, and possible death. Oh my God. A patient should never change the pressure on the medical device. If you're okay taking that chance with your life, then go ahead.
Hey there, Papper people. Welcome to my channel, The Lanky Lefty 27. It is I, Jason. I'm a registered polysomnographic technologist, and my God, I have some important information for you today. Before we get started, at any point, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I beg you, please check out the links that I have down in the description box below. I would greatly appreciate it. So some of you already know that I am not a real big fan of APAP. Here's 2 points that I want to make with this. 1, APAP is not always good. I know a lot of people put a lot of effort into saying that they're automatically titrating CPAP is perfect. It adjusts perfectly for them. This is just not true. The other point I want to make is that doctors are not always correct with their pressure and their pressure suggestions. You should really monitor your data because ultimately no one else is, not even your doctor. This is actually a screen grab that was provided to me when I was doing an axgsleepdiagnostics.com PAP therapy analysis with one of my customers, great guy. And I saw the perfect storm of things occurring. So pretty much I just wanted to share these with you, screen grab them because it illustrates 2 points that are always extremely elusive to me. And he was kind enough to do that. Okay, let's take a look at this. Obviously his AHI is terrible. His doctor was alerted to this and said, hey, your AHI is terrible. The majority of these are obstructive apneas. So buddy, you need to increase your pressure. He said that this kept getting worse. And so he came to me. Now here's exactly what we found. First, he's on an APAP range of 4 to 11, so it can flex from 4 to 11. You see he has the EPR turned on, which I usually suggest turning it off. But look what happens here. He's breathing along perfectly. He just has an arousal here. It's okay to have an arousal. He does that. Now, these are post-arousal central apneas. I know this because I've been doing this a long time. These are kind of the parabolic shape, waxing and waning that you would expect of Cheyne-Stokes respiration. But what happens here is you see the pressure jumping up because it's interpreting these as being obstructive apneas. They're not obstructive apneas. He was sleeping perfectly here before when it was much lower. You can see the pressure decreasing here. It looks like it could be an arousal caused by the rapid decrease in pressure. But then all of a sudden with this very quick ramp up and the misinterpretation of these being obstructive apneas or being called obstructive apneas, you get this rapid increase and it's way too high for him all of a sudden. So this is going to result in CPAP induced central apneas. The machine is incorrectly still calling them obstructive apneas, so he's just staying up there high, and you can see this long period of Cheyne-Stokes respiration. Finally, it marks one correctly, calling it a central apnea. The algorithm says, oh, whoopsie, and starts to decrease the pressure. So we see it again, it goes back into the obstructive apnea, then a few centrals, it triggers. And so you can see it kind of doing this oscillation before finally it says, oh, my bad. These are central apneas. They all look the same. The pressure drops and starts dropping rapidly until finally we get down here and it finally kicks him out of it. He's finally low enough, much lower than he was at the other point. He has another natural arousal here. It again incorrectly calls it an obstructive apnea, jacks the pressure up again. And then thankfully it calls it a central apnea and pulls the pressure back down. But he's in this endless cycle of this. You can see how horrible this is to his sleep. The seemingly endless cycle of the events being called incorrectly. So this guy is just basically suffering all night, every night. Any of you want to have this service done, it is on my website, axgsleepdiagnostics.com. Look at me, I'm sleeping so peacefully. If you want to have this service done, I have several things. You can have a home sleep test. You can do what I call a talk to a tech or speak to a technologist. Ask me really any question you want, just grill me. Then we have the PAP therapy data analysis. So for about an hour, I will go through your CPAP data. You need to have Oscar or Sleepyhead installed, have your most recent data set uploaded. And then I go through about 2 weeks of data, though I've been known to go back a couple of years. Look, this service is actually really, really helpful. With this service, we have been able to help a ton of people. Many people come into it kind of skeptical, just wanting to help me out, I think, just trying to throw Lefty a little bone. And then they come out on the other side really, really glad they did it and wishing they had done it much sooner. So I don't know if I mentioned it yet. This guy's physician actually told him, look, you're having a bunch of obstructive apnea, so we need to increase your pressure more. He was like, what? And clearly he wasn't having obstructive apneas. I didn't get to show you the aftermath, but the aftermath is all good. His pressure was just way too high, and his auto PAP was incorrectly marking all of these events, causing it to not work appropriately. And I'd like to say that this is just a random thing that never happens, but it did on this one machine. This is something that happens all the time. I highly recommend you download Oscar. It's at sleepfiles.com/Oscar. Great program. It's free. It's fairly easy to use. And if you don't know what you're looking at, feel free, reach out to me. I can always help walk you through it. Now, I'm not trying to vilify this guy's physician. It's just that all physicians do this. Like, none of them get into this data and actually look at all the waveforms themselves. If they are sleep medicine doctors and they do look at it, they'd probably pick up on it, but they don't have the time to look at this data. They actually don't have the software to look at some of this stuff, but they certainly don't have the time. If they can't bill for it and they don't have the time, it's not going to happen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. And again, please check out the description box for a lot of my links. A lot of them can really help us out. I would appreciate it if you would just take a quick look there. And lastly, if I haven't done a membership video yet, I would greatly appreciate you becoming a member of this channel. Hopefully I'll have the membership link open up down below. It's a great way to help us out. I would really appreciate it. There's a lot of things changing on my end, so any support that you throw my way, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. Thank you very much for considering. I hope you enjoyed this video. I put a lot of time into it. Thank you for watching. Please consider using my Amazon affiliate link down in the description box below. I clicked the link and added some items that my family needs, like a youth baseball bat for my son, but found that it makes my tiny hands seem large, so I use it too. We also got this street ball so my children will know the joys of being dunked on by a pear-shaped man. I also bought an eye screen to protect my YouTube face. Jesus! We also got this ice cream maker.
Are you eating ice cream out of the tub again?
No. Because as I discovered while batting, I may have very small hands, but I am still a thick boy.
Stick it out. Even white boys got the shout. Baby got back.
Thank you to anyone watching this video, but an extra special thank you to my top level Patreon supporters and low level. Thanks buddy to Alan Liu, Stuart Hetherington, and Mona Swearingen. Thank you and thanks buddy.